The new Jack Off intro, live. The Jack Off Show.
I can feel your heartbeat through my shirt.
Jesus.
Quite
a thin shirt you must have on. We did feel that.
No shirt at all.
We would just
no heart at all either.
Yeah. No harm being shirtless. Some people find that attractive.
Yeah. Do you?
Depends who it is, like.
Me?
Yeah, and most women.
Okay.
Actually, I shouldn't say that, like. A girlfriend. Sounds bad. Anyway, we could be listening to this.
You've made enough mistakes recently.
Yeah, that sounds kind of fair poor.
Christ.
Shanisha was saying to me, she was like, "Oh, I made the mistake of saying." She was like, "Oh, when you're getting me in the jack off," and I was like, "Oh, sure. If I have to get," I was like, "We've discussed this as in the two of us, and being like, if I get you on, we have to get Liliane on." Like, and then I said, I thought the line wasn't a waste of an episode, like, but
Christ.
it was something along those lines, and I didn't mean it. Like, it was off the top of my head. I was like, a lot of hassle. Like,
it was just your natural.
So then she said, "Why don't you get us both on together?"
Right.
And I said, like, I wanted there to be, to be honest, like, I want there to be some charisma. I'm joking, I didn't say that. I said it now.
That could be a woeful last episode. Not woeful.
Oh, what are you saying? Oh, Jesus. Oh, this is public. Yeah, anyways,
no.
Sure. We'll jump into some poetry. Like, I've got mine.
Jack, I have no poem yet.
Yeah, we'll create
You
one.
want to curate one. Okay.
Create one.
Okay.
I'll read my poem.
Right, I'll do a quick one.
Got it on my phone. Well, for context of this poem, there was I ended up playing 3 5-a-side games today.
Okay.
Because firstly, I was told by Shane FC were playing at 11 a.m. I get up at like 10:45, race to Botany Bay, and there's some lads there, and I'm like Shane FC, and they're like, no, Team Nisha. I'm like, what the fuck's this shit? So then apparently Shane forgot to tell me they'd moved the game to 4 p.m. So I ended up playing with those lads, but I was absolutely shite. They needed me for, they needed 4 to start, so I played. I was so bad. They subbed me off, threw me in goals, then threw me out of goals again, and I didn't play after half time. So that was fun. And then I played at 4 p.m. with Shane FC finally. I was shit then.
Yeah.
And then we played the Stallions game. I played for the Panto team against the Stallions. It was and we got battered. It was the Farlocking Foals versus the Gallican Stallions, and I'm captain of both technically, but I was captain of the Foals today. So this is my
captaincy now.
Listen. Well, that'll be discussed at a later date. There might be a replay of the game for cheating, even though we got battered.
Oh.
I'm only suggesting it now. But this is my poem. It was my pre-match speech to the Foals. So I'll get started. My phone doesn't keep turning off. So this is a time when boys become men, when girls become women. Forget puberty. This is it. This is your defining moment. This is the most important moment of your life. When foals become horses. You will face many a hurdle today. And you know what you do when you see one? You fucking jump it. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the fucking foal, we will ride tonight. Ride till dusk, ride till dawn. Frolic foals, this is your moment. And after that, we lost like 14-2.
That inspired 14-2 loss.
Yeah. I was shouting. I couldn't roar here because I'd blow the mics, but I was roaring it like.
Right.
And it could have rallied the crowd, rallied the troops.
Right. But you were 14-0 before you read that out. That's what
Yeah. Maybe score 2. Yeah.
Great. That not much of a poem, but a great speech.
It's a chant.
It's a chant, right?
I don't know what it is.
It's an epic. It's
poem. Something
I
felt relevant. It wasn't as like as poetic as I thought. See, it sounds different when you're shouting. Like I was roaring it, and there's a big crowd. And every time after each line, everyone was like, "Yes!" Instead, I said, "You here writing a poem."
Yeah,
so the same atmosphere.
They say that about poetry. Anyway, they should be read aloud, not to be kept in the dome.
In the dome.
The dome of
like
yours.
a dome of a pint.
Yes. Speaking of,
Wouldn't you love a pint?
You'll be able to see the domes now. We have the camera in for a change.
Oh, yeah, is that live? The lens looks very dull.
It looks very dull.
But doesn't look as much life going behind it, like.
Well, it's a piece of machinery, yeah. There's no life behind it.
Well, my way. Anyways, go on. Poetry.
It's only mimicking what's in front of it, I suppose. Okay, I just wrote a quick haiku here. Jack Jog the baller. A cheating scandal. Oh dear. Leaves in autumn sun.
An autumn sun? What does that mean?
Apparently, with a haiku, like I haven't been doing it, but apparently there's supposed to be like a line about nature. In autumn. So I was like, this is
To be
very
fair, that's very
last
good because you just conjured it up there.
minute. Yeah,
Very good.
it's not even autumn.
Listen, spring. I saw a few daffodils about.
Alright.
A few lambs fresh for slaughter.
Oh,
How quickly do they slaughter a lamb?
oh, it's a very slow process. It's I wouldn't have a clue. My dad strangled a goose once.
Why?
He was asked to. It wasn't a goose. It was probably a turkey or something. But he told me that. I remember one time he told me this story. This is such a fucking segue. Jesus Christ. It's funny though. His neighbour, he was just walking to school one day and they just stopped and asked him to strangle an old turkey. And he could be
Why doesn't the neighbour do it?
sure. It was a middle-aged woman, and she said, "Sure, there's a fine young man, 5'2". Let's get him in. Let's get him going here to strangle that."
To find her hands at him.
Yeah, and he wrung the neck.
How old was your dad at the time?
4. No, I don't know. Maybe
Had you met your mom yet?
No.
Maybe
Probably a child.
maybe the turkey wasn't the only thing she wanted strangling. BDSM. Maybe it's, can you strangle my turkey? Bit of a euphemism. Like imagine you're walking down the road and some old woman asks you
You
for that,
don't
like
have to keep going. You don't have to.
I am.
You are. God.
How did he find it? Did he find it
I
weird?
have no idea, Jack. It was only a throwaway.
So he's
comment.
killed something.
Yeah.
I've never killed anything apart from the odd fly or worm.
Except for the fucking vibe here in the last 4 seconds.
So 50% of this vibe's on you.
Oh god, yeah.
Yeah. Well, maybe that's a bit generous. Maybe 40%.
Maybe 42 on a
Listen,
good day. That'll be a peak.
yeah.
Yeah.
Apparently, also, I asked Jack if he wanted to go for a pint after this,
Yeah.
and he goes to me, "Oh, I've given up the drink for Lent."
Well, I just
As
said
if-
I didn't say it like that now. But
Listen, as
it's
if
the
you're
truth,
as
yeah.
if- like, what are you, a devout Catholic now or something?
No. I literally was thinking this when I came out the door. I give up pints and like sweets and stuff, and
There's no way you're gonna keep that.
yeah, sure, 40 days, not that bad. I've gone down one now.
Sure, you're no crack without the drink.
Jesus, and it's the same for you, and you've been off it for 3 months.
Listen, I've had a pint tonight, so I'm on
You're
I'm
on
crack.
You're on cloud 9.
I'm crack.
You that's gas actually. Yeah, I thought you were supposed to be off that.
No, I'm not on that train anymore. Like,
Mm-hmm.
enough time has surpassed.
2 weeks.
Didn't ask my doctor now, but listen,
Yeah. Your doctor will be told now after this.
my doctor won't know
Somebody will
anything.
be listening.
So imagine my doctor listening. He actually does a podcast, a medical podcast apparently.
Really?
I saw his Twitter. Yeah. I didn't follow him though.
You need to find out how many listeners he gets and just be like, yeah, no.
Well, he's not on TFM, so it's
Nothing-
definitely fucking more.
Nothing on us. No. He might get 2.
Whoa!
You get 2 listeners, and then you need to drop the stats on it. We got. What was our peak? Like,
Our peak live, I think, was 50, nearly maybe 60. around
Jack,
there.
it wasn't.
It was.
It couldn't have.
No, we have at least had 50 peak listeners. That's about, the first podcast Ellis came on. We'd over 50 peak. We earned. We definitely did. Not more.
Jeez,
That was a long time ago though.
it's a fucking dream. It's a far gone dream.
That's because of the shit time slots.
Yeah, but sure, Jesus.
If someone booked us in at 8 PM on a Thursday.
Well, somebody didn't tell me when they were free.
Well, listen. I'll handle that.
I
next
would
time.
have listened.
Anyways, go on.
No, go on, you.
What about you? You were off in fucking Berlin.
Yeah.
Did you do anything?
No.
Right. Next segue.
Are you gone on the 1 point?
No, I'm mimicking your laugh.
You're making me laugh.
Mimicking.
You're mimicking my laugh.
Yeah,
You're not making me laugh. No.
I just did.
Rob.
You know, I have a story related to Berlin.
Go on, give me your Berlin story.
Well, listen, actually, I have a few Berlin stories. Now that I think of it, but I'm going to stick to the Berlin story that actually isn't related to
Stick to
Berlin.
your guns.
Anyways, my granddad's clearing out his house, right? And he's moving house from Limerick, kind of a big enough old house.
Is
And
this the man that I met?
yeah.
He's from Limerick. Or
He
lives
lives the
in
house is Limerick, like.
Sure. Yeah,
When did you meet him?
After the
Panto. Oh yeah, that man. So he's moving out and he's going to Kerry,
Mm.
and he has to move all his possessions. Anyway, there's a big bookcase in the house.
Right.
Two layers. It was so big there's like 2 layers of books behind it. So they hadn't been moved for years. They've lived there for so many years now. So they removed the first shelf of books, right? And then in behind they see a second shelf a second row, and in the middle of it there's like this old book, distinctly old. So they pull out the old book and they're like, "What the fuck's this?" And it turns out to be an original copy of Mein Kampf. And they open it up and it's signed by my great grandfather Jack McLaughlin, who apparently went on a jolly to Nazi Germany in 1936 before the war and brought it back with him and thought to sign it.
Why would you admit that? All I said was I went to Berlin after admitting his great.
My granddad wasn't a Nazi.
Was a Nazi. Sure, why was he reading Mein Kampf? So?
Just interested in literature and opposing thoughts and views. Sure, it's fashionable to read.
Fascist.
Karl Marx. That's fashionable.
Yes. Karl Marx.
Apparently Hitler not so much.
Karl Marx didn't kill 5 million Jews.
I said if he was in power, who knows what he would have done. Sure, communism. He was the foundation for communism, and the communists blitzkrieged everyone. Like I know that was the Nazis, but like Stalin and Lenin and those boyos, they had the gulags.
Sure. Yeah, Stalin and Lenin, not Karl.
But without Karl, there'd be no Stalin. Heard it here first. It's now a history
Jack
podcast.
has decided. No Karl Marx, no Stalin.
No.
Well, I don't know enough to speak on that now. Political answer.
Oh yeah.
Political conversation, political answer.
Yeah, but anyways, I was at my granddad's house and
What other Nazi memorabilia did you find?
well, it's as I said, it's quite an old house and they've like a cellar down the bottom.
Okay.
So they went down to the cellar. My granddad went down to the cellar one day. Now my granny passed away in April. So like there's been so he went down. That's relevant for context here. So he went down to the cellar and he found like a tray that had been tinfoil over. So he opens the tray or takes off the tinfoil and like finds brownies. On it. So he's like, so he apparently, from what I gathered now, I could be wrong and could be subject to correction, but this is what I gathered from whenever I was up at the house last Friday. He takes off the tinfoil and kind of feasts into one or two of the brownies.
Where were these brownies? In the basement?
In the cellar, in like a wine cellar.
Right.
But what he didn't realise is who the fuck would have baked brownies, because my granny has not been around to bake for like months, and he's not fucking baking. So anyways, my uncle...
Cellar brownies.
I'm there, my uncle's telling me this, and he's like, but he then offers me a brownie. He's like, do you want a brownie? And I was like, oh, I can't have egg in them. Anyway, long story short, turns out they're weed brownies, or hash brownies.
Why were they there?
Because my uncle baked them and hid them in the cellar, and he found them, and like... And then he offered my granddad, he was like, do you want one of those? Again, he was like, no, I'll stick to the brandy now, because he was drinking brownie. Or drinking brandies, not drinking brownies.
Drinking brownies. Okay. So
there's all sorts of shite in there. Like.
I haven't said much so far. So far, you've made sexual innuendo aimed at my parents.
You're one of them.
You've outed your great grandfather as.
No, he's
a Nazi sympathiser.
Interested in literature.
And you've also announced that your uncle has been baking weed brownies in Limerick. So to any
as you don't know what by weed I meant garden weeds, and this could be any uncle. I have lots of uncles.
Yeah, okay.
Weed means like a shit brownie. Like, if you put a weed in the garden, this is a shit brownie. Like.
Yeah, we can narrow it down to Limerick.
So Limerick's a big county, lots of drugs.
Change the subject there.
Stab City.
Christ. If any of our listeners are from Limerick.
Listen, do you want to know what it's like to get stabbed in the back? You don't need to go to Limerick. I gladly do it.
You'd gladly go?
I'd gladly stab you in the back, is what I'm saying.
Right. Yeah, sure. The way you have it.
Also, last thing, there's a thing on the wall there that says like, I love road. So I have road. Now that reminds me, this is very irrelevant, but it's just reminded me of how my dad has this keychain, and my mom read it and was kind of horrified by it, because on it says I heart muff on the keychain. Yeah, that's the keychain for his car. But Muff
is whiskey?
No, but Muff is a town apparently Muff is a town in Donegal.
Oh, apparently.
I'm not cannot confirm.
It is.
Is it actually?
Yeah, because Donegal Muff Gin, there's a company. Yeah.
Oh right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so
I'm giving him an out.
He also has.
You're going to expose all the male members you have.
He also has a trophy called which he put on the mantelpiece. He won it in a golf competition every year they play, his college friends, whatever.
Right.
And it's the beavers play the pussies, which is animals and stuff. And the trophy is the Mike Hunt trophy. It is a silver trophy, a proper big silver yoke with the Mike Hunt trophy. And he put it on the mantelpiece, and my mom removed it and has it hidden away in some corner.
I don't blame her now. I don't fucking blame her.
She's an interior designer, but has no class, you know.
For crying out. Are they listening?
I don't know. My mom was texting me she was driving. Listen, I presume not.
She's not driving anymore. She's
fucking crashed the car.
She didn't want to listen. Took the easy way out.
I forget people are listening. Like I say some awful stuff. Anyways.
You say some awful stuff. You always say awful stuff. Yeah, but that's not just limited to the radio. And actually,
oh no,
the dialogue, like, it's fucking nuts the change up in you from when that light goes red. When you're being recorded, you talk like a different man. And
I don't.
And not in like a way of he's a different man, like you're a different person, you're a prick or something. I'm not saying it like that. I'm saying you just say like everything you've said to this point. You couldn't pull that out of you if you weren't on the radio.
No, the reason is because I wanted to tell you these things, but I had to wait until the radio because anyway, you're too busy fucking doing college work, and I was like to you, I could text you these things, but
you could text me that your uncle was baking wheat brownies as if I'd be told that story.
Oh, I would have told you that, especially because Berlin was relevant. Like,
yeah, okay, well, none of those stories had anything got to do with Berlin.
Oh, and that's it.
The thing is, like, I have nothing to fucking compare to Berlin with that. Like,
that's fine. What did you do in Berlin?
Well, we fucking went for a film festival, saw 3 films. Didn't see that fucking much. Like,
any good?
No, there was a Jesse Eisenberg one where he joined like an incel cult, and like, oh man, it was nuts. There was like this one scene, it was hilarious, where they were all sat around in like a like AA type meeting thing, and they're all talking about like how long they've been celibate, but they don't announce that at first. But you know it, like, so the first guy's like, John, it's been 11 months, still going strong, and then like nobody gives a story.
Still going strong.
Yeah, they're all going. It's like 6 months, 4 months. Then there's this one guy, and he's like, I might tell my story. I'm going to tell my story. He stands up and he's like going on about how he had like testicular cancer, and the doctor told him he had 6 months to live. He's like, it's been 11 months since I was told that, and they're all like, yes, brother John, and they're all actually called Son, so it's like Son John, I think it was, and but the more senior members are called Dad. So it gets around, and it's like you go from son, and then there's one guy. He's like, I'm son Robert, and this guy's like 65. And he goes, I'm son Robert. I've been about 3 years on the go now. 2 weeks in, 2 weeks voluntary. So, yeah, because he was like, the first 3 years were involuntary. He was like, finally left my wife. Look through her things. She's been cheating on me with this motherfucker. He starts going into it. It's terrible. He just skips on to the next guy. He's like, my name is Dad Troy. 5 years.
What American names as well.
Yeah.
Fucking Troy.
But the main guy in this cult. By the way, the cult was like barely in it. It was the best thing in the fucking movie probably, and they just didn't go into it that much. But you know Adrian Brody, the guy with the big nose. You'd know him if you saw him, I'd say. But
no. He
played like the main guy, and his character was called Dad Dan. Which was the most confusing shit ever. It was like, how are you supposed to take Dad Dan seriously?
Did they say Dad every time his name is said?
Well, like, pretty much. Like, but Dad Dan said. Yeah, it was atrocious.
That's good.
No, nothing too hectic, thank God. There was nothing.
I see you from Burgermeister based off your Instagram.
Yeah. Have you had been to that?
Yeah, sure. I was in Berlin whenever that time I fell asleep on a train and ended up in the train depot.
Oh yeah, that time.
I told you about that.
You have told me that, I just forgot. But Burgermeister, have you gone to the one under the train tracks? The one that we went to, the little like.
So I've been a lot of train tracks.
Yeah, I know.
Well, Berlin's a big city. There's loads of Burgermeisters.
Yeah, but this is it. It's a fucking massive chain. Yeah. Like, but there was one of them that near our hostel that we'd been to in first year. Best fucking burger I think I've had.
What, nice burger, plain ketchup.
Burger, yeah, loads of shite on it actually.
Burgermeister always have glass Coke bottles, which I always find a bit annoying.
You not like that?
I like the drink of it, but I don't like disposing of it.
They've got all glass bottles out there, and they had a fucking one with I saw there was one though, it had a plastic top. It didn't have a cap, like a plastic top and a glass bottle. It's a bit nuts. It's crazy.
That's a crazy story now.
That's why my trip was. And then I saw a glass bottle with a plastic top. Yeah, nuts.
Did you go to any nightclubs?
We went to one. We went and looked at Berghain.
I saw on someone's photo the arse of Berghain at the front of it.
There was no line though. It was nuts. And we went up and like they just said that there was a there was a private event on. I'm sure who's booking out Berghain. But clearly there was, like, if there was no line,
Yeah, but what time did you go at?
late.
And what day?
Oh, that's Saturday night.
Oh, what? Okay, maybe so. That's a bit bad.
It's 1 o'clock on a Saturday night.
Oh, sure, of course to be allowed to say. What the fuck? Why would they?
Yeah, it was very strange. But well, you would think that would be like peak.
But also, the fact that there's no one else showing up to that's a bit weird too.
There was a few people, like there was trickles of people going up.
Do you think you'd have got in?
Oh, well, to be honest with you, we didn't really try. Well, like, because by the time we got there, we were like, there's about 10 of us, and we're like, sure, jeez, we're hardly going to leave people outside.
And yeah, there's always like, they always see, well, I don't know, it's kind of bullshit. Maybe if the 10 of you went up, they would be like, yeah, apparently.
You see the 10 of us, they probably wouldn't.
No, and they're always like, you see all these videos and it's like, oh, go up in twos, wear black, like,
Yeah.
all that shite. Look boring as fuck.
Yeah,
You do well at that, actually.
Yeah. You'd think.
Well, like, I could go in, I could go in as a skinhead, like, if I with me and my.
They'd love you.
Yeah, they'd love me, especially if I wore my fishnets, like, they'd love that. Sure, I wore, there was a Lostock event called Barkheim Night. I wore fishnets to the Barkheim Night in Lostock.
Do you have a picture of that?
I do, yeah.
I'll put that up in the story.
Sure, at half time I'll put it up in the story.
Oh, that'd be beautiful.
Sure, I may as well do it now. I'll put in the song now, will I?
Shall we go for the halftime bit? Go for it, sure, and we'll
what was? Let me see now. I'm not sure if I had the song. How do I check the queue? I use YouTube Music myself, so yeah. Anyways, here we go. We'll fade this out. This is a Heady One 50s Hedio Kart remix. Bit of Mario Kart, bit of rap blended into one. Wow. So I'll fade us. I'll fade us in. I can figure out how to use this stuff. The comp audio up now.
Go on by.
Oh, there we go now. Enjoy this. Hello.
Jack O'Grady. Master DJ.
I'm trying to do Instagram as well at the same time. I don't know where to put. If you check the Instagram, if anyone's listening now, I'm putting up a story. This is me in my Bergheim
Don't
costume.
cover up any of you now.
Where top left, like I put it in.
You can put it over your face. That's about the only part that we're used to. So the rest is
right.
Rest is great.
No, well, sure, I'll put it there now.
Okay, that's good.
There we go now.
So if for your viewing pleasure, Jack O'Grady in fishnet.
Yeah, I've worn fishnets twice now. Once was on Camino in Spain.
Right.
And this was kind of a bit grim. I've been told, like, I remember at the time I was I was told retrospectively I was incredibly drunk. Basically, in the last night, every year VDP does Camino. So the last night at Camino last year, we all kind of dressed up. We went to the charity shop and bought shit, like, and I was given some stuff. But previously, before everyone was given stuff, I kind of went with Hugh Tyrrell, great man, and I was coerced into buying like fishnets and like dungarees. Women's dungarees are way too small. They gave me a massive wedgie.
Coerced.
Yeah. So I ended up wearing the fishnets, right? But I was so drunk. That was the first time I ever got sick because we went
was the first time you've ever gotten
from
sick?
Drink, like.
Okay.
Because we went to this Irish pub and there was a front bar and a back bar, but the back bar was unmanned. So I got like a pint glass, went behind the bar and filled it up 3/4 with vodka, and I ended up drinking the whole thing. I was so drunk I didn't. You know when you're that drunk you don't taste vodka already.
My lawyers are going to advise me to say no.
But like it's very rare. It's happened to me. Like, but I ended up drinking it all, and I was still drunk. Like, we had to get up at like 7:30 or earlier, maybe for our flight. And I was in the airport, like, lying on the ground by the baggage check and shouting at people, be like, oh yeah, no, because I got my bag done early. I put a Kerry jersey on to cover up the dungarees and fishnets, but I was still wearing them on the plane home. Like, it was brutal. I looked like I stunk. At this time, I had massive blisters on my feet from walking the Camino. Yeah. So I took my shoes off on the plane. The former finance minister was apparently sitting in front of me, whatever his name is. So I stunk that plane out. Like, it was grim.
Yeah. He probably deserves a bit of that though.
Listen, not all finance ministers are bad. Like,
none of them are good though either. Oh.
Yeah, but it was hard.
Like the right thing to say.
I thought you weren't going to indulge in politics and all that talk.
Sure, Irish politics aren't really politics. It's only
so you're saying that Nazi Germany and all that is real politics?
God, yeah.
So you're giving a bit of support to them?
Yeah.
Fair play to you.
Yeah.
Fair play to you. Anyways.
I kept saying as well, every time I'd like order a drink in the nightclub, it was so fucking loud anyways, you couldn't hear anybody. But I'd just say fucking like, Ein, be your name here. And I'd be like, yeah, just order it in German there or something like, grand, I can't fucking remember. But you know what, the fucking price of drink over there would make you want to go like...
See, I don't really drink beer, like...
You don't? Well, that's actually very true, because, well, even like the vodka...
It is cheaper, but it's is hard. Yeah, no, everything's cheaper though.
The vodka was a little bit cheaper, and the food, fucking Burgermeister burger was only like €6.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
I was in Bunsen last night, I got like a tenner.
Man, you go to Bunsen, you get a chips, and I fucking think it's fucking €15. Gone.
Yeah. Plus a shit can for like $3.30.
A shit can.
Yeah. They actually, not to diverge from you, but briefly, they were selling wine only by the bottle in Munson for €48. Who the fuck's going to Bunsen buy a bottle of wine for €48? Like, honestly.
That's so fucking
Some of the seats don't even have backs. Like, you know, there's some seats and the back of them is the person behind you that you next. Like, it's like.
Oh, I do.
I hate that. It's so bad.
Like that. Yeah, it's fucking.
Anyways,
shit.
sorry. Go on.
Could you imagine? Yeah, I'm imagining because I always think the Bunsen on Dame Street there, but Jesus Christ.
The one off Grafton Street is the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah. Oh my God. Drinking a bottle of wine at Bunsen. That's romance. That's romance right there. Jack, you should. There's an idea. Date night now.
Date night to make up for it. Sure,
Make up for it.
Make up for my many sins.
Oh yeah, okay.
I bought Nisha flowers last night.
Fair play. Yeah.
Lilies that hadn't even bloomed, like, so she'll get to watch them bloom in front of her.
Watch them bloom.
Yeah, listen.
That's it. You sure they're not dead now?
What?
You're sure they're not dead?
I hope not. I paid good money for them, for those lilies, like.
Should all of them.
Would you ever get Lily and some lilies? That's on theme. That's topical.
It's true, yeah. Could.
Because also, shout out to Lydia if you're listening, but she called out, at the pav she was talking about Liliana, and she called her a weird name. It was like a nickname. It wasn't Lily, but it was like Lils or something like that. I don't know what it was. I don't know what she calls her.
Lil, maybe.
Maybe something that I've never heard before.
I don't know.
Or maybe she was too lazy, just couldn't say both names.
Yeah. Most people do call her Lil, yeah.
What do you call her?
Liliane.
Oh, look, the grin.
Yeah, that's it.
Anyways, like, you were telling me at the break that you'd a mad story in a bar or something, like.
Well, it wasn't mad. I was saying, like, it's kind of sad, because the maddest thing that happened to me in Berlin was we left a pub one night and like I just bumped into something. Like, first of all, bumping into somebody randomly in Berlin who you know from college. She was on the trip, but like this one I didn't know her nor.
So she was on the trip, so that...
She was, but she'd left. She'd gone to stay somewhere else, and then she just randomly was back in the part of Berlin we were in. And I was like, oh, that's strange. And I was just like, what a coincidence. And then some random fucker just got resurrected on the side of the road, and he was like, I love Berlin. And he's like, what are the odds? Like this kind of thing, like proper like playing into what I said. And he came up and he was like, I'll give you, and he came up to me, and he's like, I'll give you €100. He actually sounded a bit Irish as well, which is a fucking strange thing, but I'll give you €100 if you let me call somebody on your phone.
You just run off with the phone.
He had a phone in his fucking hand as well. I don't know.
Maybe he did that to somebody else.
Well, I don't know. There you fucking go. You might be dead, right? And I was like, oh, will you? Like, oh, great. And I was like, do you have the €100 or whatever? And he was like, yeah. And then he just turned to the girls then, and he was like, I'll give you €100 if you call someone off my phone. Or if you let me call somebody off your phone. And I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. So he's looking at them, and one of the girls was like, will you really give me €100 just to call? She's like, I'll fucking do that. And I was like,
oh, Christ above. Oh my God.
I just said to him the words, do you have the €100? Like, €100 first. And he gave me a look up and down. You'd swear to fuck, like, I don't know what he wanted to do with me after that, but give me a little, like, side, like, locked out of his head, like, and just real sassy, though, for, like, a man in a tracksuit. Like, it was
so I can be sassy, I'm in a tracksuit.
You can be sassy. You can see by the story. Have you still not seen the story that I put up of you? Jack. For fuck's sake. You'll have to tune into the video on YouTube to see what's just transpired there. Rear end view.
I did this in the pav. I stood. There was a big table of people, and I stood up at the top of it, like pulled down my pants, my tracksuits, like, and showed what was underneath to everybody, and they all gasped, like, oh. It was a pair of shorts, because after soccer I put on the tracksuits. But the thing is, everybody looked, and the thing is, if I was arse naked under there, everyone would have seen my arse, and they would have all looked. Oh, I saw that, yeah. Well, what happened? That's gas though. Like, and was anybody mad that you dropped your trousers even though you had shorts on? No. Because I did that when I was a young fella. I dropped I just like football shorts on underneath my tracksuit. And for the laugh, I just stood up and just dropped my tracksuit, and everybody went silent for a second. And then, being 13, everybody just went, "Are you gay, man?" But that's gay. Yeah, no one called me gay in the pav. Just ignore you. No one called me gay in the pav. Good man. Oh, well done. Thank you. They call you gay elsewhere, but not in the pav. No, listen, those pants were dropped quite far down. You dropped them in the pav, I didn't even cop that. Yeah, other people saw, like, and I was given odds to go up into the middle of where you order drinks in the bar. and drop them there. And I was like, okay, I'll do that. But the odds didn't. The stars
The odds
didn't
didn't
align.
land. Yeah, there you go.
Shane wanted to do 1 to 2 odds. I in the end did 1 to 7. I didn't even negotiate. I was excluded. I would have done any odds, but people negotiated for me somehow without me even asking. So I ended up doing 1 to 7, and I guess 2. So if anyone wants to do odds with me, remember that number. Yeah. I'll never guess it again.
Sure, it's still open. I'll do odds with you now, live on air, and you can run down there.
Sprint to the fucking pad.
Yeah. Are they still there? Are they going ahead without you or no?
No, the party disbanded when I left.
Party
No, some of them are going to some shit musical. Like when I say shit, that's a bit harsh. Like I haven't seen it.
Is it the Players thing?
Yeah, no, TMT, Trinity Musical Theatre.
Okay.
But it's in the same place where the Panther was. But it's over 3 hours long. Like, would you be well?
And play a musical, but that's an actual production, like.
Oh, look at you bollocks! The Panto, I guarantee you it. I think the Panto would be more entertaining than that.
Yeah.
Especially because the Panto's only 2 hours. Like, it wasn't that too long.
I'll go to the musical.
And what, jeer at them?
And then and then I'll come back next week and I'll have a report on which was better.
Oh god, the musical's on tomorrow night and Saturday night as well, I think. Not to promote it.
I'm not serious, I'm not actually going to go to
it. It's €17 for tickets too. €17.
It's fucking steep. Fucking €18 into the nightclub we went to after.
God.
And it was fucking...
No wonder drinks so cheap. What was it called?
Suicide Circus. Like, I know. We were walking around as well, like, because it was so late. We were like, fuck it, we'll go in somewhere eventually. And it was, Holly had heard from like a co-worker that it was a good place. And she showed us a picture of them after. And it was like, if we hadn't fucking got in and these guys had, like, it would have been a rough day for the parish. Like, it would have been very poor. But, no, it was actually, it was a very calm place. There was no hassle, no scrapping, nothing. Everybody was just bopping away. Sure,
when I went to Berlin, it was me and 5 other Kerry lads. Like, we got fucking nowhere.
We got nowhere.
We ended up doing this weird place where there was like a table tennis going on, and there was like literally I can only describe him. Now, this could sound like cancelable, right? But like, or whatever. But like, there was like a gay pervert watching us play table tennis.
He's just a pervert.
No. But yeah, that's true. Yeah, but the point being, like, he was watching me and like stroking. The gay pervert? But no, but like he was like almost like stroking the area down there, like so. Like it's safe to assume he was. I guess there's no.
Looks like you're stroking the area down there.
I'm fixing the fucking shorts like are keeping a wedgie when I put them up. Like I put them up too far. It's fucking annoying me. Anyways,
you're not a gay pervert. I take that back.
Oh, listen, but anyways, that's irrelevant.
Yeah. But no.
But moral
of the story, Berlin, €3 pints, Doyle's 6.
More than that, you want cider. But actually Doyle's a pint of Guinness is more than that Doyle's, it's like $6.30.
It's 6 fucking something, yeah. It's ridiculous.
More, yeah.
Anyways, don't need to get into that. You have, by the way, the book was...
Well, this is context of what you're reading here now.
The book was Mein Kampf, was it?
Yes.
The cook was the Brownies.
Yes.
The Brillo. Have you told the Brillo yet?
Oh, basically for reference, we've got a thing here for us. We've a list of shit we want to talk about. We normally try to plan. We haven't done it properly for a while.
I think we've gone through mine. We've gone through Lent. Lent was a very quick story. Tags off pints.
The red carpet experience. What's that?
Oh, we got to go up the red carpet at the Berlinale, the film festival.
I say you turned it brown.
Walk up
with brown after you.
Well, brown after left a trail of brown. We got to walk up the red carpet, and it was pretty fucking cool. But it was like walking by, and all the fucking like. Did you ever see those clips from like the Met Gala or something where like?
Those are photographers.
Yeah, the photographers like the second they're done taking photos of like something like fucking you could be a mad celebrity, and then Beyonce walks in behind you, and the cameras are like fuck you. It was like that, only they weren't taking photos; they were just looking at you. So like we were just walking up through. There were loads of people walking up through it, but
how did you get to walk up it?
Just we got there early enough that we got there before the actors, and then they just let people do that, I suppose. But very cool. Didn't get a picture, but they'll rude the day. They had the opportunity to. So Jack Mitchell walked that rug, the red rug.
A man yet to direct or star in anything.
Yeah, exactly. But soon come. But no, and then that's about it. Chance encounter at the Kaiser bar.
Yeah, another thing Jack has written down here is the price of pints, brackets, a discussion. Sorry, now that's the most like boring discussion.
I know.
Typical boring shit. It's like, just grand stretch of the evenings now, a discussion.
This is it. My thought process was, you might laugh if you read it, number one.
I haven't, no.
We could either open or close with that and just bore people out of it.
Oh, yeah. Also, for reference, I mean, we don't have the weather, but Law Watson didn't send anything in. But you can see, I kind of clickbaited people on the story. It says you can see Law Watson with the weather at 8 or whatever. You can see that's a snap that of Tiernock, like with the caption. The caption's very important. I'm not going to explain it. But anyways,
I don't know what it reads anymore. I remember it being a bit vulgar, but
it reads.
you
You have a nice fat arse, Perpetual.
Oh yeah, he sent that to me. Yeah.
How do I check the results of the poll? I don't know. I'll do that later. Anyways, I the stuff I've written down for me is the book, the cook, the Brillo, and the driving.
Go on, give me the Brillo.
No, the Brillo, right? This is the summer of 2020, so just after the COVID, and I was working back in Dingle, in my uncle's restaurant, and I was kind of getting quite used to cleaning shit with Brillo pads, because they had Brillo pads in the sink back there, and there's a lot of gutter and muck. And just shit and stuff, and when you're obviously in a restaurant, like, so I was getting used to cleaning stuff. I was mainly working behind the bar though, so I was also I don't know what I was using a Brillo pad for, coming to think of, because you don't use that to wash or clean glasses, so I have no idea what I was doing really.
They didn't either, Jack. They probably weren't.
Anyways, so I'm at home, right, and I kind of be tearing along on the way to work, and the roads would be a bit of muck on the side. I kick a bit of shit behind me, so the car, my polo would get a bit dirty. So I went home anyways. And I parked the car kind of outside the back door. My mom normally parks the car, and I got a hose out, a bit of fairy liquid, and like it's not a sponge, like one of those cloths. I started cleaning the car, but shit wasn't coming off. Like some of it was kind of struggling. So I went to the back cupboard and saw what we had, the cleaning supplies, like under the sink. And lo and behold, I found a Brillo pad. So I get the Brillo pad out and start scrubbing away on top of the car. And lo and behold, the fucking dirt is coming off. It's going amazingly well. I'm like, holy shit, this is great. So I'm just going, but there's loads of suds, like the suds are going mental. I've never seen, it's like, do you know if you've heard like soft water and you sud up really easy? It's like that, the softest water ever, like you if you were water, do you know what I mean? If you were water.
If I was water.
Yeah, soft and foaming in the mouth. Anyways.
I've never foamed at the mouth. I'll have you know.
Foam by. Anyways, my mom comes driving in, and I thought initially she comes out the car, she parks the car, and she starts screaming. She's like, Jackson, what are you doing? And I thought she was just mad at me because I parked in her spot. And I was like, oh, that's a bit of an overreaction, like, but fair enough. Anyway, she comes over to me, and like, she's like, stop! So I stop what I'm doing, and she's like, what are you doing? And I'm like, I'm just cleaning the car. Anyway, she goes mental at me, and she tells me to get the hose. I spray off the suds on the roof. And sure, haven't I scratched the entire car with the Brillo?
All over it, or just
all the roof, the sides, kind of, yeah.
This is your mother's car?
My car.
Your own car?
Well, like, it's Polly, like, it's Polly the Polo.
Right. Jesus.
And I was meant to get it fixed, because he hasn't scratched it, it's got loads of scratch marks all over it, like, I was meant to get it repainted, but it costs so much to respray a car, like, I don't have that kind of cash, especially because I already crashed the car in the summer previously, just before, like 2 weeks before that, and had to pay like $1,000 to fix it, like, and I'm working minimum wage here, relying off tips to keep me afloat, so like, it's not like I can throw another $1,000 on this car of mine. I'm actually losing money driving back to work, like.
Oh, you're a gas, man.
So that's the Brillo, like, and this car is still scratched to this day. And like everyone, and at work you're ridiculed for being stupid and thick and all this stuff. And people are like, oh, Brillo's made of metal, man, what are you thinking? I'm like, well, I don't know, it cleans shit. Like, it did clean the car at first, so I wasn't wrong.
It cleans glass, so it must clean a car.
Well, I don't think I used it to clean glass.
Yeah.
I don't think I did.
Imagine how fucked the glass was.
I don't think I cleaned the glass with it. I don't think I used it. I don't know what I was using it for.
Okay. You don't know. Well,
I just remember seeing a Brillo pad by the sink and having use of it. And then I go home and it's like the light bulb switched on. And I was like, oh.
I was like, that cleans things. I'll clean my car with that.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. Okay, go on.
But
you might have enough time to drop the driving.
Oh, well, the driving kind of linked into this. This is like, I've had a few incidents in my time of driving, but I don't know. I don't want to keep hogging the mic with shite stories about me just embarrassing myself.
I have nothing. The last week for me has been boring enough.
Well,
even though I went on holidays, I enjoyed it.
Yeah, how have you been? How are you so boring? Me saying you'd be 40% of the crack is or whatever. But generous now, it seems. Should I'm a generous man.
No, that's so true, Jack. Yeah, thanks.
I'm probably the most generous person I know. No, I joke.
Yeah.
Top 3.
Generous man. Just gave 4 of your family members life sentences in prison.
Well, who are the 4? My great grandfather.
My great grandfather posthumously. He'd be posthumously.
Listen. Away. Then throw half the people in Germany in prison. So like.
Jack, I've been listening.
Good.
You've been talking.
Ah.
No. Go on, give me the drive. The driving.
Well, the driving is basically, the first time I ever drove the Polo, like, this was like 2 years before that, I'd say. I was driving the car with my dad. The first time ever driving it, I hadn't passed my test at this stage.
Right.
And I'm putting out, do you know in my house, right, that you can turn right to the gate or go left towards where the back door is? If you remember. Anyway, it doesn't matter anyways.
Yeah.
So if you, to leave the house, you need to turn right. To go but based off where the car is parked. But I for some reason ended up driving left. I think I was going to the 3-point turn. My dad's in the car. He's quite a calm person. Then out of nowhere, my dad screamed. He was like, "Slow down!" or something, or "Stop!" And I was panicked. I was like, "What the fuck? What's going on here?" So then I kind of go to hit the brake, like slow down, but I'm so panicked that I accidentally hit the accelerator, like.
Jesus.
And then because I don't hit the brake and I'm wondering why I'm not slowing down, I end up flooring it. So I floored the accelerator, and then my dad apparently, I've been told after, grabs the steering wheel because he thought I was going to crash to my mom's car, which like I wasn't going to. It was under kind of control. So he ends up apparently grabbing the wheel, and we tear into the side of the house and smash into the wall of the house. And then my mom and my sister and all our friends are in the house, and they hear a massive bang, and the house like kind of shook, like, and they're like, "What the fuck?"
The house shook.
I did. Physically or metaphorically,
Jack,
who knows?
You, the car and all were shaking, but I guarantee fucking to you the house didn't shake.
Anyways, listen,
That's not the point of the story.
my mom then comes out of the house running, and she's like sprints out, and then she's just seen a car with her husband and son. Anything could have happened, so they could be injured, dying, snapped neck, whiplash, and she runs out and goes, "Oh my house, my wall!" And I'm there in the car like embarrassed.
I think a bruised fucking pride would be the only thing that got hurt there now.
Yeah, but at the time, like, I was just on my leaving cert, like, I didn't have a load of cash. So, like,
How did you get the car so?
Oh no, like, the car's not, I don't own the car, like, it's like my sister be driving it, and never, but, like, I'd be the one, because we couldn't, because at the time we dacked the Polo and, like, my mom's Jeep, like. Okay. So, like, so I kind of fucked it there.
Yeah.
Actually, I've also crashed on the way to Dingle, like 3 weeks before the Brillo thing. I went around a bend. I was trying to take a shortcut because there was a bus in front of me. Skidded on some gravel and went straight into the ditch. And then tried to reverse out of the ditch because I didn't want anyone to know that I crashed the car. But by doing that, I fucked the car even more and made it completely undrivable. So I was late to work that day.
Yeah. I have a feeling that I won't be getting a ride with you again.
You've been in the car with me, like.
Yeah, I have.
And I'm a good driver now.
I regret it.
I am, boy. Listen,
you're a fast driver.
Listen, I'm prompt.
Yeah.
I'm swift.
You're interesting.
Calling me a fast driver is the equivalent of calling someone plump. You mean to call them fat. You're trying to say I'm like a bad driver, but listen, I'm none of it like Jack Plump Mitchell.
I just find it funny because I'm like, you would never hold back from calling someone fat. That's the
I wouldn't. I'm not a fat shamer. Like,
the thing is as well, you do be dropping some atrocious comments about people on this, but you should see Jack when he meets people from like VDP or like random.
Oh,
people
you
from
think
the
this though? Like,
it's so funny. Like he'd be talking to me about the show and he'd be like, "Yeah, we'll fucking do this, that, and the other." And then some like first year will walk by and be like, "Oh, hi."
Yeah, but I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, what's the fucking crack?" Or "Fuck
I
off."
know,
I'm gonna be friendly.
I know,
like,
but
if you see someone you know, you're gonna wave at them and be like, "Hi."
I don't go up 4 registers though in my fucking vocal tone. Like,
you can't, like.
I can't.
You've only one tone, like.
Most men can't.
Why can't I pretend? Vocal register. No, I can't.
Jack.
My voice is fucked. I actually can't go high anymore, like.
And that's a shame.
Yeah.
You had a beautiful falsetto on you in your youth.
Yeah. So listen, things are changing these days.
They are, and by God, I wish they changed a bit more, but sure. That's just them changes, man.
Oh,
okay.
Christ.
Well, I've been Jack.
I've been Jack.
You've been jacked off. Good night, good luck next week.
Well, different time next week because the roster change, whatever, the TFM changes. So
right. So
look on the Instagram.
Should we succeed in getting back on?
Yeah, if we will, like, who knows?
After this tripe.
Anyways, good night.